end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to reach to consumers.
Yeah, so I'm not an MBA. I just want to know, what did I miss by not doing an MBA?
The right way of investing has not been done to establish those categories. So in RO space, obviously, Kent lose.
Just like you had a character in Hemaji in Kent-RO, there was Murthy when it came to Voltas.
Yeah.
Tell us about that character.
The campaign which is only targeted to the entire India.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, through the help of AI, I can have multiple communications for multiple markets.
Hi Deb, thank you so much for joining us today. I would love to get started with just getting a quick introduction about you and let the audience know the career span that you've had and where you come from.
Thank you. Myself Deb Chatterjee. I'm born, brought up in a steel city called Rourkela. It's a small, beautiful green city. And I did my schooling and graduation there. After that, almost after 21 years, I shifted out to Delhi for my MBA. I did it from IIM-A Business School. And after that, I got an opportunity to work with the leading brands like Lintas, FCV Ulka, Dentsu, and JWT. The span of almost 8 years of agency background, then I shifted to brands like Kent and all. And eventually I'm working with Voltas now as a head of brand communications. Being 22 years in the industry, I have been through many ups and downs in the career and also, and gotten quite an optimum exposure into multiple categories during my tenure in advertising agencies. So where I got an opportunity to work with pharmaceuticals, automobiles, FMCG, durables, also with government organizations and all, and with a lot of the largest of the NGOs and all, like UNICEF and UNDP and also. And that is how I have completed my 22 years, and it's been enriching life and all. So life is a journey actually, if you see, and it gives you a lot of learning, which you have to keep on observing and enriching your experience over it. So that is how I take it every day, because every day is a learning, and how you can impact your everyday steps with the past learning and connect it, and you take the right step when you go ahead for the next journey of life.
Absolutely. How did that journey from agency to brand happen? And tell us more about the difference of working at an agency for brands and then working for a brand, working with agencies. How has that transformation been?
So whenever you're doing an MBA, you always want to be an entrepreneur one day, and to become an entrepreneur, you have to go a certain journey of your life. So first of all, understand how to. End of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to reach to your consumers. You have to understand the consumers best. And to understand the consumer, you need to go to the market first of all. To understand the market, you need to understand whatever communications are happening there. And to understand communication, you have to go back to the agency where the entire cooking of, I'd say the communications happens. The strategy gets developed, understanding of the consumer happens, the consumer segmentation happens. So understanding the consumer is the most important, because consumer is the god for everybody. If you understand the consumers, then you are done. And that's why, as I started with agency, the second dream was to getting into the brand side. So getting into working with multiple brands and multiple category enriched my entire journey very well. Actually, if you see, one of the biggest learning was initially my first project was working with KPMG during my initial days of my study, my agency work. So the project was all about understanding there was a project which was going in the state of Rajasthan. It was been funded by KFW Germany and the government of Rajasthan. The project name was Apni Yojna. So it was based for the electrification of rural electrification, sanitation, and as well as drinking water supply. So what happened after the project got initiated, the government found that the recovery money was not coming out as far as rental is concerned. So we as a body, we went to do a research, and FAO was looking at whether the consumers are not willing to pay or they're not eligible to pay actually.
Got it.
So willingness to pay or eligibility to pay is very different aspects. And we went to the ground and we found out that all the people who are getting benefited out of it, 50% are not eligible to pay because they don't have any type of earnings because all their lands have gone barren and all due to desertation and all. Whereas 50% are not paying because they're not getting services, because the setup was made not as apt, was not giving you the running water in a day-to-day formats. So that was the first project which I learned that it's not about the project, but project success is most important than a drawing board, planning and all. So that is where it comes when you do the strategies and all. So whether your planning goes right to the consumer's end. So normally what happens in the bureaucracy and all, if you see, planning happens to end up in a drawing board. But when you go to the implementation in the field, it may land up somewhere else.
Correct.
So that was the first learning. Second learning was that when I started, working for the health ministry and all, Mr. Ambumani Ramadas was that point of time, he was the health minister and all, and we were working for UNICEF for the polio drive, Do Bones Zindagi Ki, which was endorsed by Mr. Amitabh Bachchan.
Yep.
That was a wonderful project, and we went to UP and all. We found a lot of people actually are very agitated to get the drops and all for their kids and all, because a lot of rumors were there and all.
Yep.
So to create that clutter and that take out that mindset, we went to the religious leaders too of the mosques and all.
Wonderful.
And made them understand through our medical expertise and all that it's going to help you, because once the nation is healthy, then we'll get a healthy crowd to workforce, healthy, which we are having today.
Absolutely.
More than
I think polio has been eradicated completely.
Yeah, polio has been eradicated for God's sake in 2000 and I think so in 8 has been eradicated.
Yeah.
So over the drive we found that, and it's once you get a ailment in a country's also future and all the kids and all, you are somewhere dragged behind than where the other nationalities are there. So fortunately, with that drives and all, we actually create a difference and all, and we finally got this polio eradicated in the system. So you have to understand who is my next target, who is the influencer. Today we talk about the influencer marketing in the modern world and all. So that point of time, there was nothing called influencer marketing.
Correct.
This influencer marketing actually did happen to those religious leaders who helped us.
Oh wow! Wow. Which year was this?
It was in 2003-04.
Oh wow! So in 2003-04, you basically, with first principles thinking, thought who would be able to influence people.
So they were influencer, but no concept of influencer marketing was prevalent.
Correct.
People were getting influenced, but we never took that route. After this, obviously, say that the entire the field of communication has to be evolved. So slowly, from the calculator to the computer to the digital world, today entire world is digitized.
Yeah.
Your cameras are totally digitized. There are no more rolls are rolling out. There are no frames. The concept is same. You're capturing audio and video, but slowly the technology evolves you and get you to a different level. That is how we got help to eradicate many other things. Second thing, that after that, I got an opportunity to work with many other brands. Like I worked for a brand called HCL. And HCL was one of the leading Indian brand that point of time was transforming technology to human life actually.
Correct.
And we were planning to think about what should we do to actually establish that particular brand. So we found end of the day for whom the technology is getting developed, for the human being only.
Correct. So
the technology which connects and help you to grow faster and forward and all, that's how. And that point of time, we actually, we were thinking of a mascot. Like a Michelin has, another brand has, and Amul Girl is there. But we found that no, there has to be human face for the technology. Because who is developing this technology for humans? Humans are developing. There is no third world technology which is coming up over it.
Yeah.
So we took Sahil as a brand ambassador, and we created him as our brand ambassador as Mr. HCL, where he simplifies and helps a lot of I'll say business or businesses actually say, or I'll say organizations, to help them to get things done, like a banking organization. That point of time, digitization was not there.
Yeah.
So today you see everything is connected. You can transfer monies and you can transfer funds within a second. That's how things are happening. Long back during the Congress days, you remember how what Mr. Rajiv Gandhi has said, that the money which goes doesn't reach to the person because there was no technological
Yes.
advancement as that was there.
Correct.
Because today technological advancement is there, so money goes to the right to the end user sector. So beneficiary gets the end things. So these things actually helped. So a lot of brands together took their opportunity, actually responsibility to, I'll say imbibe the entire, I'll say the ground foundation of the growth of the Indian industry as well as India as what we are today. We are the fifth largest in economy. We have got into the $5 trillion segment recently and all. So there is a lot of advancement as a. Why it is happening? Because certain steps have been taken in the past.
Correct.
By all the bureaucrats or by the industry as well.
Correct.
So that is how we have to keep learning and all. And as an advertiser, I also keep observing what is happening, how it is going to impact the market and the consumer at the end of the day, and how the nation is growing on its own.
Interesting. And then, like, I think you joined Kentaro from that
So
point,
in
right?
between, I also
When
worked with
you switched
Japanese
from
brand, with
agencies to
Honda,
brands.
and then with JWT for quite a small time.
Yeah.
And then went to Kentaro. So Kentaro was I'd say very experiential, I'll say time for me. Mr. Mahesh Gupta, who was the owner and the MD of the company, he actually asked me to join there, and we met in a forum somewhere, and working closely with him actually gave me a lot of, a zeal to work for that particular brand. So the most important thing, if you think, it's not a brand, you have to think, and what is water actually today? Water is life.
Yep.
70% of the earth is made of water.
Yep.
Even though our body, 70% is made of water. Everything, every particle, every atom is made of, every molecule is made of water, actually, 70% of water. So without water, life is not going to run, actually. So, and if you see, day by day, the water and the air are getting contaminated.
Correct.
The level of the contamination happening is very fast.
Correct.
And due to this water-borne diseases in our country, a lot of people actually do a fatal death and all. Even though due to diarrhea only, if you have seen the Lifebuoy ad and all, they say that due to this contaminated water and the diarrhea and all, 5 million kids die within the 5 years of age. They couldn't complete the 5 years of age. So this type of shocking data are there, which actually I'll say has driven this thought of Mr. Mahesh Gupta to bring out and develop something for the nation that will give them I'll say, habitable and drinkable water. Yes, the Eureka Forbes was there, was making a UV water filter.
Correct.
So UV water filter has its own limitation. So what happens when a UV water filter doesn't have a water tank, storage tank?
Correct.
Because what happens, the viruses and the bacteria cannot be killed. They can be deactivated.
Okay.
So what happens when you switch on your UV water filter, you just place your glass and you fill the water in and drink it. So what happens, whatever the water, the bacteria and the viruses are there, they get deactivated when they pass through the UV filter, because the light is there. They deactivate and immediately you drink it. So our ecosystem, our entire built up is so way the viruses and bacteria doesn't get developed in our internal body and all.
Okay.
But once you store that water in a bottle or somewhere, When it comes to a conducive situation, they start again germinating, again reactivating actually.
Okay.
And that becomes a very dangerous water for you.
Got it.
So that's why when the water was, what people should do, you collect the water, freeze it or store it somewhere and keep drinking whenever you
Correct.
want.
That's what all
So whenever
households
you
do.
to store it, it starts again germinating within some period of time, and billions of bacteria were germinating there. So the time you have got the water collected, if you compare that and the water which you have drinking after half an hour or maybe hour or two, it will have a differentiation of the contaminated or biological bodies around them, and that is going to impact your intestinal infections and all.
I think so far we've discussed quite a few things where it just seems like you did the right thing at the right time for the success of that campaign. Just want to know
Absolutely.
how much did your MBA help there? So I'm not an MBA. I just want to know what did I miss by not doing an MBA? Like where did that play a role?
So, very frankly or candidly, I can say that yeah, education gives you a viewpoint to understand the market and a holistic view. I'll say when once you do engineering, you're the masters of the technology actually. Whether you do M.Tech or you do IIT or wherever,
Correct.
you for the best of the colleges. So at that point of time, you enrich yourself as an inventor actually. So you have to add on something to create something new on a technological base. But what happens due to the brain drain and all, well, people go into the big organization and they settle down to have a easy salary based jobs and all. When you do a MBA, you should be when you come out, you should be a job generator actually. You should start some entrepreneurship thing. There are a lot of opportunities. You just look around, there are many things around. You have to start our organization, you have to find out the right way of doing things which can help you to earn as well as to give employment to many of them, and to also I'll say add on to the overall organizational and the category as well as nation growth. You cannot grow alone. You have to grow along with the society, along with the civilization, as well as the country as well also.
Correct.
And you have to go along with that particular pace. You cannot go if the country is going one way and your policies are something different. You have to go along with it. So that is how what actually in MBA actually we have been taught. Fortunately, yes, I will recommend to each and every person to go through higher studies, as well as they should be also adding up to an uh, executive MBAs, which they should do every 5 years, because things are moving so fast. Earlier generation used to move 10 years, 20 years and all. Nothing used to make a hell lot of difference in the generations and all. Now the generation gaps are narrowing down very vastly. A generation can be 1 year today. A 1 year younger and 1 year older may be having different experience to the world.
I don't understand Gen Z at all. And
Yeah.
Gen Zs are only 5-6 years younger than me. I don't understand
Yeah.
them at all.
So because what they have seen, you have not seen that because when they were born, many things were already available.
Correct.
I'm not a baby boomer, but we are next to them. But baby boomers have seen a very different world altogether. They had a very very different type of experience. They have seen the tape records, the cassettes, the VHS and all. Even though we have seen those things, we have seen the landline coming in.
Correct.
The BSNL and the MTNL working in the lines and all. Then the pager coming in. Then the mobile coming in into it. And mobile has got now the entire journey which is going on. And in that phase, and from the Doordarshan days, there were no Doordarshan, and then the DD1, DD2, and then there was this cable and satellite networks has came, and the penetration is so high that a metro person and a village person, the rural R4, R3 and all, are getting similar exposure to the same media.
Correct.
Information is getting shared very fast to them.
Yeah.
And due to the digitization and the digital India which was there, which Mr. Modi did in 2014 to 16, that actually helped to the entire country to connect very fast. And fortunately, yes, I was one of the fortunate person to be a part of that Digital India campaign, which we launched during 2014-15 under Ravi Shankar Prasad. He was IT minister at that point of time, and it actually create a lot
Yeah.
of change.
Yeah.
Digitization is very important today. And
Absolutely.
similarly, today, if you see the IoTs, machine learning, and AIs, other things are actually creating differentiation.
Absolutely.
Is good. See, many people will be thinking that it may not be. It may challenge a lot of people's jobs and all.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen like that. When computers came, not people don't lose jobs. You have to just upgrade yourself.
Correct. Correct.
Same filing of the folders, into the to the drives and all. You used to put the old files in the cabinet. Similarly, you have to just place them in a digital format. Today, too, if you have to write a letter to somebody and you have to explain it or a strategy to develop, you have to think through, or you have to go through many of the books and all, or many of your old presentations which you might have got. But today, what is helping, if you take a help of the AI, that will smoothen your job and will get out the output within maybe 4 to 5 minutes and all.
Yeah.
Because that is how machine learning and the AI, the helping the today's entrepreneurs as well as bureaucrats as well as I'll say the executives of the organizations actually.
Yeah.
They're helping very fast and all.
Yeah.
So going back again, we were discussing something else.
I think I just was trying to go deeper into your journey of MBA into
Yeah.
your
So
campaigns and brands.
fortunately, when I joined Voltas, there was a through Tata actually I got an opportunity to do my executive MBA.
Got it.
At IIM Ahmedabad. And what we have read during 2002, 2004, after almost 15, 16 years, I found that the world has elevated in a different format altogether. Because we were operating at a different pace, and depending on the categories we were operating, we were evolving and updating ourselves into those things and all. But reaching out to IIM Ahmedabad was a different, I'll say, different elevation to me, which actually I got actually. So the holistic approach was that when you go to the premium institution and all, you actually get an opportunity to get outlook, a global outlook actually, not a national outlook or not a regional outlook. You get a global outlook. What actually how the entire world is operating. Till that, our view was within the Indian territory itself. What the Indian government is doing, what the industry is doing, and the businesses are doing, and that has how to reach out to the consumers. But when you go in a premium school, which is an acclaimed university, you see a lot of, more actually, I'll say multiple windows actually opens. You get into 360 degree into, through a gyroscope you can see it. When you have got when you do, when you keep evolving and all, we have got a 180 degree view.
Yeah.
But when you see through a gyroscope, you have got a 360 into 360 degree. If you're in a universe, you are a body, there is every side there you can, if you chop it, this is 180 degree. But if you see, there's all sides are there. You can go this side, that side, and east, west, and all. So I'll say you get a gyroscopic view from there.
Got it. Interesting.
So very, very important to understand that where are we today, where are the other brands are there in the other countries and how they're operating, what the consumers are thinking about the brand, which stage they are in.
Yeah.
Because if you see the PLC, the product life cycle which you talk about, operates into different market in a different life altogether. Like I'll just give a small example, like Pager. Pager as a brand, as a product, had a good lifespan in the European and the US market.
Yeah.
Got almost 20 years of lifespan. But in India, it was lesser than 3 years.
Yeah.
From the time they got launched, the
Yeah.
time the next product actually came in, the mobiles,
Correct.
actually killed that entire life journey of the Pages.
Yeah.
So that is how the launch of a brand has to be very timely, which you spoke last time. You told that the timely launch
Correct.
is very important. Otherwise, your lifespan in that particular market will get lost.
And we'll get into the future of marketing and what the timeliness of that is. But before we go there, Just like you had a character in Hemaji in Kentaro, there was Murthy when it came to Voltas.
Yeah,
Tell us about that character.
Yeah, Murthy, Voltas, Voltas is one of the most evolved, and I'll say the one of the uh, most of the favorite brand in India. It's the highest of the recall, highest of the top of mind, highest of brand equity and all. It has happened over the ages of the hard work has been done by the entire organization and the brand teams and the marketing teams and all. And obviously the product which we have delivered on and off over the years actually. So bringing Murthy was a very important, I'll say, the stage where we got, because we were looking at a commoner who actually can address the problems of the Indians actually. Because today into the hustle and the run in and out of the uh, stages of life is very difficult to address where you get the comfort from. So Murthy was one of the, I'll say, character which actually cut across the genres and all the entire segment of the people of the in Indian culture and all. And he actually narrated his problem very easily to the to the consumers.
True.
And he actually broke the clutter and is well accepted by the Indians actually. Let's say. And that is how the Murthy All Weather campaign actually became the most popular campaign during that point of time. Prior to that, Voltas has a good campaign where we can talk about the India Ka Dil India Ka AC, the Indianization of the AC. Because what happened that point of time, Voltas was re-strategizing and repositioning itself as an AC brand and all. We were the AC brand from the initial and all. And then we Indianized ourselves with a campaign called India Ka Dil, India Ka AC, along with the energy efficiency pitch.
Correct. Yeah.
So the energy efficiency, the star rating has been initiated by us in 2006 actually. So that was one of the milestones which we took into, and from there the concept of star rating came into the existence of the industry.
Beautiful.
And Bureau of Energy Efficiency took it as a norm and made it a industry benchmark to evaluate the energy efficiency of the products.
Beautiful. Amazing. And we recently partnered, with Voltas to help all distributors get a message from Mr. Murthy. How was that received? How was that campaign?
That was actually, I'll say, that was a big. The first time we experimented AI format into our communication actually. And it was being appreciated by the entire the fraternity of our dealers as well as our top management also appreciated that, and thankful to Gan.AI that you came with this particular idea to pitch in us to reach out to the dealers because they are our assets actually.
Correct.
As employees are our assets, dealers and distributors are our assets. And we need to nurture them and to educate them each and every point of time. Also, this is a very vital way of communicating things actually. Getting into personalization.
Yes.
Because everybody would love to get a personalized message or a personalized card or a personalized invite is very important. That is how in India we develop. We are into the culture of personalization, and personalization messaging is going to happen through AI tomorrow. Because today I may have got a campaign which is only targeted to the entire India. But tomorrow through the help of AI, I can have multiple communications for multiple markets, because each and every market is diversified, different and all. The acceptance and the way of the operating the product is also different. There are moderate temperature market, there are hot and humid market, there are there's a market which is like throughout it is like cold, two markets which are there throughout it's hot and all. So we can create different products and different communication for those markets which will help out, and it can be done only through AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that there's a future where AI can help individualize the campaigns as well, as it becomes easy to create assets. Maybe the asset that I see versus the asset that you see is different based on my likes and the first party data and the third party data that you've collected about me. What do you think overall about how the future of market is evolving?
See, market is obviously, will evolve and it will go, it will grow very steadily and very fast. Actually, I'll say the pace which we are going in, and it will penetrate much more faster within a very short period, because the entire, I'll say the, I'm not getting the right word, the entire ecosystem, whether it's the policies which are coming from the government, the policies which the industry are making and all, and the organizations are working on. Actually, it will go along with, I'll say, uh, not getting the right word actually. Uh, it will amalgate the entire thought process of the organizational growth, and it will take it to a different level altogether.
Absolutely. How do you measure the impact of an AI campaign? Like, how did you measure the impact of the
See,
campaign you did with us?
See, you can, if you cannot, there is no tool to measure the impact of any of the campaign, whether you do in TV or outdoor or in radio or print. It has a result which is going to come out after a short period of time or a long period of time. You cannot evaluate. What is going to impact is that you have to keep on doing continuous, efforts to reach out to your consumers, address their issues, and develop product as per the requirements. These things, if you keep on doing, you are going to get into the success mode at any point of time. Because today, as you said, that Murthy campaign has done a lot. You never know, that still might be repaying us today. That campaign which was done in 2012, the All Weather AC campaign.
Yeah.
Because the penetration of the ACs were 2% at that point of time. And when we went to the market, we asked the consumers that what is stopping you to buy the AC? They think it is a seasonal product. We use it for 3 months during the summers, and we shut it down, and we keep
You
it.
started all weather ACs.
And then we told that no, it's required for, you can use it throughout the year. Actually, it can help you to dehumidify your room during the monsoons.
Correct.
It can, you can raise the temperature during the winters and all. You can be comfortable at home and all to the hot mode and all. And it can be around the year product. So that is how once the usage pattern grows into your as a habit, the penetration and will also increase. So whether today you are in a AC office, in a AC home, in a AC car and all, so what will happen there, that will induce your buying pattern in a very faster mode.
Correct.
So that helped us, and that is how today the market is growing, and it's almost 6-7% of penetration is there today.
Absolutely.
So only the richer, I'll say, anybody who has a one AC is in the top of the 95-96% of the population.
Interesting. Excellent. And this is usually my favorite, but my last question, which is your favorite advertisement throughout your life journey? Like, which is one ad that has stayed with you, and you feel that a lot of things were done right in that ad?
See, I'll say there are many ads actually. There are many ads which has done fabulously wonderful and all, whether they're abstract ad, there are, but I'll say the objective of the communication is very important. Any industry, see, if you go back to our old history, anything, all the mythologies which we have, our epic of the books, and the Mahabharata and the Ramayana and other, there are a lot of books that all the region has. Those are made to be always to develop a character within the society.
Yep.
So character development is one of the biggest challenge and the most the important task for each and every communication person actually, whether it's a poet, a singer, a story writer, or an advertiser. We should not deviate anything which is going to impact our country's culture or a character of it. So building a character, the right character, is most important to the communication. So we should be always focused. So there are many of the ads you may see. Creatively, if you want to ask, there are a lot of Ogilvy's, I'll say, advertising which they have done under Piyush Pandey. They were fabulous and all. So whether it's a Fevicol ad, whether it's a Mentos ad and all that. So there are many ads actually which are there, which are remarkable. even though the brands which have got built up during some certain, you know, properties, like in IPL, Zuzu was building.
Yeah, Vodafone.
The Vodafone, the Pug was building.
Yeah.
So lifelong you will remember those things. And Murthy has been built.
Yes.
Because Murthy associate, like Kent, Himaji is there.
Yes.
You will be not able to dream about who after Himaji will be able to take care of that brand.
No chance.
Voltas have always been Murthy from last 14 years and all. So we have also have to get a character. We have to also see who takes care of it.
Yeah.
So similarly, some characters have built the brand, some mascots have built the brand. Nirma girl and also, if you see, it's still going on.
Yeah.
Amul girl is there and all. So there are many brands. Yes, some brands have got evolved, they have got diversified, they have been into many. But I'll say each and every communication is good, but we should always be responsible while communicating our proposition and not deviating from the core, promise which we are giving to the consumers.
Absolutely.
We should be always thinking for the betterment of countrymen, our contribution to the development of the country, as well as being honest while we are proposing anything to the consumers.
Absolutely. Great, lovely chatting with you, Deb. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. I enjoyed this conversation a lot. Thank you so much for coming over.